What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the NH Experience. And I have a very special guest on the show. We've been after her for a long time, so we finally got a chance to catch up with her. She's a very busy person. She's a WNBA superstar for the Los Angeles Sparks. She's also taken the media world by storm. You can see her on a plethora of platforms across Turner Sports. She's also one of the hosts of the Ledlow and Parker podcast. She's doing some amazing things. She's a great mother. And also recently teamed up with Frosted Flakes to make sure that sports is there for when kids return to school. Ladies and gentlemen, the WNBA champion herself, the one and only Candace Parker. What's going on, Candace? How you
How
doing?
are you? I'm good. I'm hanging, I'm hanging. We're in Florida. We're having a good time so far.
Yeah, I saw Instagram post where you talking about you battling some wildlife out there. You good?
Man, I've seen an armadillo, a raccoon. Haven't seen an alligator. I don't really plan on seeing that. But my daughter has all these like things that she's learned on the internet of what you're supposed to do if you encounter these animals. And I can't keep them separate. So we just stand there and look at them.
Okay. Well, it's good you have Layla around so she can decipher which is which.
Yeah, I got to keep her with me.
Now, one thing growing up, obviously, I want to read you a quote that you said. And you said, quote, my dad was the first coach and drove me extremely hard from a very young age. What did your dad see in you? And at what point in your career did you see that same thing that your dad saw?
My dad was tough on all of us. And, from a very young age, he would ask us, like, is this something you want to do? And is this something you want to be great at? Or is this just something you want to do for fun? And my brothers and myself, we decided that, like, we wanted to be good at basketball. And that opened up everything. My parents were huge into just like, finishing what you start, being great at what you do, whether it be homework, whether it was volleyball, soccer, all that. And I think my voice from, how you have that voice in your head when you're a
Right.
kid that tells you what you should do or what's wrong. And, it was my father's voice and my mom's voice. And then slowly around middle school, it started changing into my voice. And I started understanding what I was capable of. And I fell in love with basketball.
Now, not only are you an exceptional and talented basketball player, incredibly intelligent lady, um, but you also have taken the media world by storm. We see you all over the Turner Sports platform. Was media something you always wanted to get into, or did you kind of just fall into it and say, hey, this is something I want to do? I want to grow in this particular aspect.
It's interesting because in college, I was going to major in communications. And then I
Okay.
changed my major to business last minute. So I've always been thinking about it. And it's something that I'm super passionate about. But it was just kind of a great opportunity for me. I think it's the second best job in the world. It allows me to have flexibility, to be able to be at home with my family, but also be around the game I love. And I think playing basketball is number one job. Talking about it is number two. And I have a great team there. Like you grew up idolizing these players, and now I'm working alongside. Like we're teammates. So it's just been a great experience.
No, you do a fantastic job. I enjoy watching you along with the rest of the guys on set. I think you do an incredible job, and it's a great example for young girls and young ladies to say you can aspire to do whatever you desire to do as long as you put the work in.
Definitely, and I think it's important for young girls to see that they are capable of it, and it's just as important for young boys and young men to be able to see that as well. Because I think there was a quote I read a couple weeks ago, and it was talking about how it's great for kids to see themselves as heroes, but it's also great for other kids to see people that look like them as heroes of the story as well. And so I think it's so important for everybody to be able to have a different voice on set and see themselves and see other people that don't look like them.
Absolutely. Now you do so many things. You play basketball at an exceptional level. You do media at an exceptional level. You're a mother, so you're taking care of your daughter Layla, who's grown up before our eyes. And so, what does Candace Parker do to kind of get away and kind of breathe a little bit because you're doing so much?
I actually just got into meditation. So I do
Okay.
like 10 minutes when I wake up in the morning, and I try to do it before I go to sleep. I'm really trying to get into that calm state. But I really enjoy what I'm doing. I don't think that it's crazy at all. I am present where I'm at. when I'm playing basketball, whether I'm on set, my family has really done a great job of just helping and stepping in, being close knit. And so I just am in a good place and really thankful for these opportunities. And, you look up and I'm in year 13. So time goes fast and I don't even think you realize it when it's happening. And so especially during this quarantine period where everything is kind of slowed down and stopped, I really appreciated like waking up on Saturday and not having to rush places and be able to pour a bowl of cereal with my daughter and watch cartoons. I mean, it's just the stillness is it was really needed.
Absolutely. I wanted to talk a little bit about last year. Obviously, it didn't go the way that you would have desired for to go, but obviously that you guys have come back stronger, come back more of a vengeance. What is your relationship now with Derek Fisher in year 2, and what did you learn from him, and what did you guys learn from each other to kind of continue to grow that relationship?
It took me a minute to be able to have a conversation because I think any of us were competitors, and there was a lot of things that I didn't believe, and I think it's important to accept that and to come to the table. I think everybody that works in a team atmosphere, whether it be an organization or corporation or wherever, you have issues with people you work with. It just happens to be that on an athletic team, it's in the spotlight and everybody is able to see those things. And so obviously we've done what we have to do behind closed doors to get to this point. But I believe actions speak louder than words. And so I'm going to do my part and be the best I can be. And that's what I can control. And I just ask for communication and all that. And another thing is like, I believe if I look back and I would have handled things differently, I would have regretted it. And I was able to understand that, my daughter's watching me and I can't go crazy and throw stuff in the locker room and, have a tantrum on the court, that I want to be calm and handle it the way that I can. Did I think it was right? No, but we've talked and we've had conversations, and I think we're going to be better going forward.
That's awesome. The WNBA has always been on the front edge of social justice, talking about bringing forth issues of racism and police brutality and things of that nature. We recently witnessed the exceptional work from Maya Moore, helping free Jonathan Irons. Can you talk a little bit about that and just what that means just for you and then the rest of the league as well, seeing that?
She was way ahead of her time. When you talk about iconic figures in our game, and I'm not talking about in between the lines, I'm talking about impact socially. You talk about Kareem and what he's done, social justice. You talk about Muhammad Ali. You talk about Bill Russell. You talk about Maya Moore, stepping away from the game in 2018. Colin Kaepernick. You talk about that. They're mentioned in the same sentence and in the same breath. And I think she represents a number of women that have understood how important it is for the WNBA to be in the social justice race fight. But it really is. It's important for us because we do represent a league that is the minority, and we represent all of that. And so I think just to see what she did and to see the sacrifices she made, but just the reward. I think we dribble a ball and we get rings on our fingers and we get praise for putting a ball in the hoop. But I think we're learning that as time goes on, the ball is going to stop bouncing at some point. I don't know when, but it's what you're doing with that. What change are you bringing? Whose lives are you affecting? And I would be willing to bet that if you asked Maya about her 4 championships or that feeling when she freed somebody, it's got to be at least comparable, if not better.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. 2 quick questions before I let you get on out of here. You obviously being in media, seeing everything that's going on, not during this time, but just has been going on for decades upon decades. How important to you is Black media?
Said Black media?
Yeah.
So important. I think diversity of thought is one of the issues that we have in our society. We live in a community, you only hear the same voices, you believe in the same things. So who's challenging that? Mm-hmm. And if you don't have anybody that's challenging your perspective or your viewpoint, then you're in the wrong circle. And I think that says a lot for our media. Diversity of thought, looking at somebody that looks different, that may not fit into the box that you want them to fit in, or may think of something different. I believe we're all trying to do the best we can with what's going on just in the world. But one thing's for sure, we've got to have people around us that look different, that aren't from the same places, in order to really understand what's going on. And I don't think now it's a cry of ignorance or not knowing. Everybody has to know now and work towards better understanding it.
Absolutely. Now, you won the championship in 2016, 2020. We're in the bubble, or some people refer to it as the wubble. I don't know, whatever that means. But how, obviously, you guys are competing for a WNBA title. How different will this title be versus the one in 2016 for you?
I don't know, because I have no comparison. I'm so nervous about having another kid because I'm worried that I don't know if I would love it the same that I love Layla. But from talking to everybody, I know you can't compare kids to championships, but like the first is like special. You know what I mean? Like you always remember the first. But then it's like, this is special as well. I mean, this is a circumstance none of us have ever been in. And from the parents I've talked to, they say that like you find love and you may love it different, but you love it the same. And so I think that's how a second championship would be. Like you'll find it in your heart to love it the same. And I think it's a different circumstance. It's a different team. And you're with, like you said, different experience. I mean, all of us that are here made a choice to be here. And we're all in the same environment. So I think that this would be unbelievable, special, not an asterisk, an exclamation point, and a season to remember for sure. Absolutely.
Now, you're a huge Jay-Z supporter. Have you ever written a Hot 16, just on the side?
So in in college, my teammate Kate McMahon is like one of the biggest rappers. Baby Mac is what she still goes by. She still actually DJs for ESPN on NFL or on College Game Day Live. Like she's legit. And her and I remixed Renegade. So she was Eminem's part and I was Jay-Z's part. So yes, I figured I have written a Hot 16 before.
Absolutely. You know what? I can't wait for that unreleased material to drop at some point before your book. I'm sure that you're going to write at some point in your life. Thank you so much, Candace, for all your time. I appreciate you. I appreciate everything that you're doing, even off the court, the influence that you have. It does not go unnoticed by a lot of us out here. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep being a great mom. Give Layla our best. And we look forward to you raising that banner and bringing the championship back to Los Angeles where it belongs.
Got a lot to do, but we're going to work on it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon, Candace.
Thank you.